Hello, and welcome to the wonderful world of Pokemon. I am Professor Spruce, and this is my brand new series, Pokemon 151, where I explain to people who don't understand Pokemon. I believe that it's best to start at the very beginning, a very good place to start, and let's talk about starter Pokemon. The first thing that you need to know is that the majority of the time, all young trainers, people start their Pokemon journeys typically at the age of 10, because that, in the Pokemon world, 10 basically makes you an adult. In the Pokemon world, if two 11-year-olds so wished to get married, they could get married without needing their parents' consent. That's what I mean by literally being an adult. You have three options when you're 10 years old in the Pokemon world. You can either start a Pokemon journey, get married and start a family, or continue your education. Exactly. I know some people who have never heard of this are probably thinking, what? That was my reaction too, but that's just the world of Pokemon. The majority of people choose to start their Pokemon journey. Typically, they start on the 1st of April of the year in which they have turned 10, for instance, because that's when they're an adult. And the 1st of April is significant not only because it's April Fool's Day, but it's also the beginning of it coincides with the beginning of the Japanese school year and the beginning of the end, I believe, of the fiscal year. And on that day, on the 1st of April, a Pokemon professor, will usually provide to wannabe trainers starter Pokemon suitable for beginners that will protect them on their journey, but are also easy to train. Basically, it's like giving pet owners who have never had a pet before a pet rock. So, you are always offered a starter Pokemon. Let's go into that in further detail. So, starter Pokemon. There is the grass type Pokemon, the water type Pokemon, and the fire type Pokemon. For example, in the Kanto region, Professor Oak, a renowned Pokemon professor, offers to wannabe trainers the three Pokemon Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. It's obvious by the other name I go by that Squirtle is in fact my favourite ever Pokemon and the Pokemon I chose as a starter Pokemon. But please don't let that waver any of your decisions. Bulbasaur is often considered to be the one that you forget about, or the one that people choose because they didn't bother looking at the other options. I believe this is unfair because not only is it the very first starter Pokemon to have a dual typing, but also Bulbasaur isn't a bad Pokemon by any means, just because it's not the fire lizard or the water turtle. It's just, I don't know. Nobody needs to hate on Bulbasaur, and that's just my belief. And then there's, of course, Charmander. Charmander's final evolution, Charizard, may or may not get a little bit too much love by the Pokemon Company. 2 Mega Evolutions, a Gigantamax form, and being the only starter Pokemon for the first time, I believe, out of the only Kanto starter Pokemon to be in the Pokemon Sword and Shield Pokedex, that is, without its other two counterparts. I will discuss that in further detail in other videos, and if you want to learn more about the Pokedex, stay tuned for the next episode of Pokemon 151. We have Bulbasaur, whose category is the Seed Pokemon, Charmander, whose category is the lizard Pokemon, and Squirtle, whose category it says that it is the tiny turtle Pokemon. All in all, those are the three main starters that you get offered in Kanto. And the majority, in fact, every single starter trio from the majority of regions, or all regions, offer you a grass type Pokemon, a water type Pokemon, or a fire type Pokemon. Not only because they're good to train these starter Pokemon, but also game-wise and logic-wise, it's easier to work out that, of course, fire beats grass, grass beats water, and water beats fire. So that's it really for the starter Pokemon. But for the basic information, but here are some quick fun facts to round up the video. Number 1, the water starter Pokemon from the Kalos region, otherwise known as the water starter Pokemon from Pokemon X and Y, its final evolved form, Greninja, was rated the Pokemon of the Year 2020. Number 2, did you know that Squirtle's final form, Blastoise, is categorized as the shellfish Pokemon? Number 3, did you know that the starter Pokemon most frequently given to rookie trainers in the games, in different regions, be it spin-offs or anything else, is Eevee? Number 4, I believe, did you know that the Pokemon Zodiac theory is technically debunked, but I will discuss that in another video because I know it is a sensitive subject with some people and also it's more fun to discuss. Number 5, did you know that Pikachu and Eevee, despite the fact that they are not technically part of the starter trio from the Kanto region, are also given as starter Pokemon in various different games and media by Professor Oak? Number 6, did you know, going on to Pikachu, did you know that for a marketing standpoint and a marketing plan, they renamed a town in America from Topeka to Topekachu for an entire day, legally changed its name. So, that's it, I guess, for this video. I am Professor Spruce, and this is the end of the first episode of Pokemon 151. Hi, it's me, Squirtle Master. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so very much. I am working very hard on these series, and I hope you enjoy. I also hope you enjoy the character of my alter ego, Professor Spruce. They will be featured in, and they will be the host of every single Pokemon 151 episode from here on out. Either way, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.